Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for today's lesson, we're going to talk about rotations and reflections of angles. So, what do we mean when we say rotating an angle? So, to rotate an angle means to rotate its terminal side around the origin when the angle is in standard position. So, doon na lang tayo sa special na rotation. So, for example, we are going to rotate our given angle theta around the origin by 90 degrees in the counterclockwise direction. So let's look at this figure. Ito yung special na rotation ha, yung 90 degrees counterclockwise. So that is one of the things that you have to take note of. This is our given angle theta. And then, when we rotated its terminal side, inilipat natin siya ng direction o inilipat natin siya ng location. So, counterclockwise, napunta na siya ngayon dito sa side na to. Originally, it is in quadrant 1. Now, it is in quadrant number 2. And let's analyze the transformations that happened upon rotation. So, nung una, ito si theta. Ito yung original natin na angle. And then, of course, we are going to draw a triangle using the coordinate xy of our angle theta. So, any point in the terminal side corresponding to xy. So, magdodrawing tayo ng line perpendicular to the x-axis and you will be creating another angle which is the complement of our original angle theta. Ngayon, pag nirotate mo itong terminal side natin ng 90 degrees counterclockwise, makakabuo ka ulit ng isang right triangle by drawing a line perpendicular to the x-axis passing through your terminal side. And what will be the properties of that triangle? So, meron tayong tinatawag na reference angle, tama? So, dito, nung nandito siya sa quadrant 1 natin, ang reference angle natin ay yung mismong theta, yung given na angle. But, when you rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, ang magiging reference angle mo is the complement of your original angle theta. Okay? And then, of course, angle theta will be the other angle complementary to our reference angle. So, magkakabaligtad sila ng posisyon. Kung ito yung reference angle natin kanina, yung theta, tapos ito yung complement, ngayon naman ang reference angle natin ay yung dating complement at ang complement niya ay yung dating theta. Okay? Okay, I hope that was clear. And let us summarize it dito. So, meron tayong mga magiging properties. I suggest na tandaan nyo na lang sila. Na-discuss na naman natin noong prelim yung signs ng mga trigonometric function values, di ba? So, kapag ka meron kang nasa quadrant 1, ang cosine yan, ang sine yan, tangent, and every other trigonometric function values ay positive. Pero kapag ka nasa quadrant 2 ka, ang iyong cosine ay negative, ang iyong sine ay positive. So, paki-review yun. Yun din kasi yung mga ideas na gagamitin natin dito. So, for sine, sine, theta plus 90 degrees, we are going to have x over r. So, bakit siya x over r? Kasi kapag ka inilipat mo siya dito sa kabila, same lang yung length ng terminal side mo, pero magkabaligtad na sila. So, instead of having the coordinates xy, ang coordinates na nung point mo located on your terminal side will be y and x. And another thing, your y should be negative. Okay? So, medyo confusing siya. Baka malito kayo. Actually, x and y pa rin to. Pero yung value ng y, yung numerical value niya dito, yun yung mapupunta dito. And we know that the first coordinate is x, and x is negative in the second quadrant. So, sabi ko nga, para mas simple, tandaan nyo na lang to para hindi kayo nako-confuse. So, for sine, theta plus 90 degrees, it is x over r, which is equal to cosine theta. So, may periodicity tayo dito na kapag ka nag-90 siya, magiging equal siya dun sa kanyang complement. So now we have cosine theta plus 90 degrees is equal to negative y over r, which is equal to negative sine theta. And then tangent theta plus 90 degrees is equal to x over negative y, which is equal to negative cotangent theta. So let's look at this example. So recall that any non-vertical line in the xy coordinate plane can be written as y is equal to mx plus b. This is the slope-intercept form of the linear equation, where m is our slope and the line defined by m is the rise over run of your line, and b is the y-intercept or siya yung dadaanan sa y-axis ng linya, where the line crosses the y-axis. So we will show that the slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals. That is, if y is equal to m sub 1 x plus b sub 1 and y is equal to m sub 2 x plus b sub 2 are non-vertical and non-horizontal perpendicular lines, then m sub 2 is equal to negative 1 over m sub 1. So sa analytic geometry, nadidiscuss din to. Kapag ka meron kang perpendicular lines, yung dalawang lines na nag-intersect forming a 90 degrees, ang kanilang slope ay negative reciprocals. So, ito yung proof niya. First, suppose that the line y is equal to mx plus b has non-zero slope. Bakit dapat non-zero? Kasi kapag ka zero yung slope niya, ano yung mangyayari? So, zero ang rise, tapos meron lang siyang run, or you will end up with a horizontal line. So the line crosses the x-axis somewhere. So let theta be the angle that the positive x-axis makes with the part of the line above the x-axis, as in figure 1.5.3, for m is greater than 0. We see that theta is acute and tangent theta is equal to rise over run, which is equal to m. So if m is less than 0, then we see that theta is obtuse and the rise is negative. Since the run is always positive, our definition of tangent theta from section 1.4 means that the tangent is equal to negative rise over negative run, which is the positive m. So, dito tayo sa definition. So, for a line y is equal to mx plus b with m is not equal to 0, the slope is given by m is equal to tangent theta, where theta is the angle formed by the positive x-axis and the part of the line above the x-axis. Okay, yan. Proving na lang naman siya dito. So, rotating an angle by 90 degrees in clockwise direction results in theta minus 90. So, kapag ka-clockwise naman, yung kanina plus 90 kasi counterclockwise and counterclockwise angles are always positive. Ngayon, doon naman tayo sa magro-rotate tayo na clockwise ang motion. So, kapag ka-clockwise, negative, we have theta minus 90 degrees. So, we could use another geometric argument to derive trigonometric relations involving theta minus 90 degrees. But it is easier to use a simple trick since formula 1.4 to 1.6 hold for any angle theta. Just replace theta by theta minus 90 degrees in each of the formula. And this is going to be your new table. We have sine theta minus 90 degrees is equal to negative cosine. Cosine theta minus 90 degrees is equal to sine theta. And tangent theta minus 90 degrees is equal to negative cotangent theta. Okay? So now, paano kapag ka nagro-rotate ka naman about the origin for 180 degrees? So kapag ka 180 degrees yung gagawin mo, actually makakabuo ka dyan ng reflection. So magre-reflect siya about the origin. Kasi madudugsungan sa kabilang side or sa kabilang quadrant, sa opposite quadrant, yung iyong original na terminal side. So, just like this one. If this is theta, if you are going to rotate it 180 degrees, magkakaroon ka ng reflection niya about the third quadrant or quadrant 3. Ngayon, kung nandito naman yung iyong theta, magro-rotate ka 180 degrees. So, ayan. So, nandito naman siya sa kabila. So, it doesn't matter whether your rotation is positive or negative. The next terminal side will be a reflection of your original terminal side. Okay? So since negative x, negative y is on the terminal side of theta plus minus 180, when xy is on the terminal side of theta, we get the following relations. So sine theta plus minus 180 degrees is equal to negative sine. So magbabago lang sila ng sign. For cosine naman, we have negative cosine theta. And for tangent, it will be as it is. Now, let's talk about reflection. Pag sinabi natin reflection, mirror image lang yan, okay? And usually, it is about the origin. So, when we're talking about reflections of your acute angle theta or your reference angle, lagi yang about the origin. Dito siya magre-reflect sa ating coordinate na 0, 0. Okay? Okay. So, hindi ko na i-discuss itong mga susunod kasi ito ay extension na lang naman ng mga nauna nating diniscuss. So, dito na lang tayo sa susunod, yung even and odd function. Pagka sinabi nating even function, familiar naman siguro kayo sa geometry tuloy, sa ating advanced algebra before, mga senior high school kayo or nung high school kayo. So kapag sinabi nating even function, if you have the value x, if you get the opposite of that value x, for example, negative x, ang magiging resulta mo pa rin ay f of x or yung original na function pa rin yan. Maglagay tayo ng isang example. Um, i-test natin kung odd or even yung mga function natin na ito. Mhm. Hindi ko pa pala siya napapaliit. Hi, okay. So, naisat ko na ng tama yung pen natin. So, ito lang tatlo, yung i-check natin. So, the sine function, the cosine function, and the tangent function. So, let's check whether they are odd or even. So, halimbawa, ang theta natin ay 90 degrees. So, what will happen if you get sine 90 degrees? That is equal to, okay, you can get your calculator. So, that is equal to 1, right? Now, how about sine negative 90? You will end up with negative 1. Tama. Okay. So, now, how about cosine? Hindi, i-check din natin siya for for 90 nga. Yan. Cosine 90, you will end up with 0. And then, cosine negative 90, again, 0 ka. I-extend natin siya. Let's have sine 180. This is 0. And then, ito naman, si sine negative 180. Again, this is 0. Kunan natin sila dito sa kabila. Sine 180. And then, cosine negative 180. And ang cosine 180 natin is negative 1. And then, ang cosine negative 180 natin is still negative 1. So, para mas malinaw, mag-extend pa tayo. Yun namang mga 30, 60. Mali. Control Z. Ay, nabura. Ayan. Maglagay tayo ng isa pang value dito ng theta. We have 30. Kung tandaan nyo pa yung mga trigonometric function values natin ng 30, good. Pero kung hindi na, edi hanapin natin. So, unahin natin si sine 30 degrees. Ang sine 30 ay equal sa 0.5 5. Pero pag kinuha mo si sine negative 30, you will end up with negative 0.5. O, kunin natin si cosine. Si cosine 30 ay approximately equal sa 0.87. And then, si cosine negative 30 ay approximately equal sa 0.87 pa rin. So, ano yung idea na ina-apply natin dito? So, kapag kasi sinabi natin na even, if you have negative x in replace of, if you are going to find the function by inputting your value negative x, it will still be equal to the function wherein you inputted positive x. So, kahit na magkabaligtad yung, or kahit na ano pa yung sign na gamitin mo dito, ito pa rin yung magiging value niya. So, same as the cosine. If you get cosine theta, magkakaroon ka ng cosine theta, di ba? Pero kapag kinuha mo si cosine theta, na negative ang value nung iyong theta, cosine negative theta, ang magiging sagot mo pa rin, cosine theta, hindi nagbabago yung sign. So, just like this one. Yan, hindi nagbabago yung sign nila kahit ano yung i-input mong theta, kahit positive pa yan or negative. So, this is said to be an even function. Ngayon, tingnan naman natin si sine. Si sine, may behavior siya na kapag nagkaroon ka ng input na negative ang iyong value ng x or ng iyong angle, nagiging negative yung value ng buong function. Halimbawa, sine 90. Sine 90. Di ba ang expectation natin it is 1? Pero kapag kinuha mo yung negative sine 90, or sine negative 90, nagiging negative na rin yung value ng buong function. So, nagiging negative sine. Ako, hindi kasya. Sine negative 90, nagiging ano siya, negative times sine 90. So, yung opposite na sign nung original mong function, ginagawa niyang negative. So, this is an example of, ano ba yan? Odd function. Okay? Okay. So, for tangent, it will be left as your, um, hindi naman siya quiz, hindi rin siya recitation, but something that you have to think about. So, analyze. Is tangent theta odd or even? Okay. And also, meron tayong behavior ng odd and even function. Kapag hindi pa siya nalalagay dito, pero sasabihin ko na rin. Mag-add tayo ng isa pang papel. So, kapag kasi, even ang iyong function, symmetric siya about the y-axis. For example, mga ganito. This is an example of even function. It is symmetric about the y-axis. Mga ganito na graph. Yan. Okay? And if you are going to look at the graph of a cosine function, halos ganito yung itsura niya. Pag tinignan niyo yung graph ng cosine function, ganito siya. Yan. Medyo ganyan. Siyempre, hindi perfect yung drawing ko. Pero it is symmetric about the y-axis. So, cosine is symmetric. Both sa graph at saka dun sa equation. Inline naman yun. Pagka nakita nyo sa graph na symmetric siya, itest nyo sa equation, symmetric din yun. Next, we have odd. Ito naman yung katulad nung kay sine. Yan. Si sine, medyo ganito yung itsura niya. Yan. And if you will take notice, nagre-reflect siya ay dito sa origin. So, pagka-add, it is symmetric about the origin. Okay? So, sabi ko nga, selected exercises lang naman tayo. So, huling example ko na to. So, find all angles from 0 to, uh, wherein theta is greater than or equal to 0, but less than 360, such that sine is equal to negative 0.682. So, dito gagamit na kayo nitong function natin na arcsine. Ang tawag dito ay arcsine. So, pag pinindot nyo to, prepare ko lang yung calculator ha. Okay, so kailan natin ginagamit itong function na to, arcsine? So kapag ka given ka ng trigonometric function values pero nawawala si theta, you are going to use the arc function. So pwede yung arcsine, pwedeng arc cosine, arc tangent, pero wala kasi tayo sa calculator na arc cotangent, arc cosecant, tsaka arc secant. So, ang available lang sa calculator natin ay yung tatlo. So, before natin sagutan yung nandito sa book, bigyan ko kayo ng demonstration dito. So, gamitin natin ito. So, kunyari, hindi natin alam na 30 yung nawawalang value. Pero alam natin na ang kanyang trigonometric function value ay 0.5. So, meron tayong sine. Gawin ko siyang red. So, representation lang to or example lang to kung paano ginagamit ang arc function. So, sine theta is equal to 0.5. Find theta. Yan yung problem. Yan. Kasi ayoko magbura ng ibang part. Or, lipat ko na nga dito. So, sine theta is equal to 0.5. Find theta. So, paano to ginagawa? So, kung meron kang sine theta is equal to 0.5, this is equal to theta is equal to arc sine 0.5. Okay? Lilipat mo lang dito si sine sa kabila. But, of course, it should be arc sine. Meron na siyang um, exponent dito na negative 1. If you still remember before, if we have, halimbawa, 2x, di ba meron kang 2x dyan, is equal to 3. If you are going to find the value of x, all you have to do is to multiply both sides by 1/2 or divide both sides by 2. So, x is equal to 1/2 times 3. Eh, ano ang 1/2? Di ba ang 1/2 ay 2 raised to the negative 1, which is 3? So, ganun lang din yung idea dito. Okay? So, all you have to do is to get the arc sine of the value on the right side. So, input natin siya sa calculator. So, we are going to have, sa trigonometric function values, we have the second function, arcsine. Arcsine of 0.5 ang hahanapin natin. Teka, burahin ko nga muna. So, input natin si 0.5, tapos kunin natin yung kanyang arcsine. So, second function, arcsine. You will end up with 30. Ibig sabihin, ang nawawala mong angle ay 30. Ganon din if you are given with, halimbawa, 0.5 ay negative siya. So, ano yung kaya yung theta nito? We expect it to be negative 30. Let's check if it is true. Yan. So, negative 0.5. Ba't hindi ito nagkakaroon ng negative? 0.5 negative. Yan. So, trigonometric function value of... Ay, teka. Sorry, hindi ako sanay sa sa built-in calculator ng laptop. 0.5. Ay, mali. Negative 0.5. Ayan. Tapos ito yung kunan natin ng trigonometric function value na arcsine. 0.05 pala yung ginawa ko. Mali. Mali. 0.5. Yun. Negative 0.5. Trigonometric function, second function, arc sine. Yun, negative 30 siya. Negative 30. So, ganun lang siya nagwe-work. So, dito, kunin natin yung arc sine ng negative 0.682. So, arc sine ng negative 0.682. So, input muna natin dito. We have negative 0.682. Yan. So, kunan natin siya ng arc sine. Our angle is about negative 0.43 degrees. So, ito siya, negative 0.43. And negative 0.43 is in the fourth quadrant. Kunin natin yung reflection niya. Okay. So, ito siya. So, kapag i-rotate mo siya ng 90 degrees, nandito ka na sa kabila. Mapupunta ka ay dito. Right? So, since theta is equal to negative 483, which is in quadrant 4, its reflection 180 minus theta around the y-axis will be in quadrant 3. So, ito siya. Ang reflection niya will be in quadrant 3, which is 223 degrees. So, that is 180 minus negative 43, which is 223 degrees. Also, we know that negative 43 and 43 plus 360 is equal to 317 degrees have the same trigonometric function values. So, since angles in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2 have positive sign values, we see that the only angles between 0 and 360 with a sign of negative 0.682 are theta, which is equal to 223, and 317. So, yung ating angle from here up to here, positive 317 at saka positive 223. Okay? So, this is going to be the end of our discussion and I hope I was able to make everything clear. Pwede kayong mag-message sa akin pagka meron kayong kinakalituhan. Thank you and see you next time. Bye!